Hello and welcome back to Sleepy Wiki. As you settle in tonight, allow your shoulders to gently drop and your breath to soften, slowing with each exhale. Tonight, we'll gently drift through the deep currents of time, exploring a story as old as life itself. It's a whispered tale of change, unfolding across millennia, shaping every leaf, every feather, every fleeting shadow that dances on the earth. Imagine the quiet patience of mountains, the persistent murmur of ancient rivers, as life itself adapts, transforms, and finds new ways to simply be. We'll journey through the concept of how living things, over countless generations, have subtly shifted, responding to the gentle pressures of their world. It's a slow, magnificent unfolding, not with sudden, dramatic leaps, but with tiny, almost imperceptible adjustments. It's a reminder of how everything, even us, is connected by an invisible thread, stretching back to the very first spark, a continuous, living tapestry. We won't rush. Instead, we'll simply observe the slow, graceful dance of life's endless reinvention, a profound journey woven into the very fabric of our shared existence. If you find these whispers of knowledge helpful on your path to slumber, perhaps consider offering a gentle tap to the like button or a soft subscribe, allowing more weary minds to find our quiet corner. Now, let us close our eyes and gently unfold the story of evolution. Tonight, as the world outside settles into its quiet slumber, we turn our minds inward to a grand and ancient story. A story not of mythical beasts, but of how we and all living things came to be. It's a story whispered through millennia, a puzzle slowly, gently, pieced together by curious minds long before the dawn of modern science. Imagine, if you will, the earliest stargazers, their eyes drawn not just to the celestial dance above, but to the breathtaking diversity of life around them, the soaring eagle, the creeping fern, the shimmering fish. How did this astonishing variety arise? For a very long time, the answer seemed to be one of steadfast, unchanging creation. Picture life as a beautifully arranged museum exhibit, each species a unique sculpture, perfect and immutable, placed exactly where it belonged. This idea of fixed species, unmoving and eternal, was a comforting thought, a bedrock of understanding for centuries. Yet even in the ancient world, there were whispers of change. In the cradle of Greek philosophy, thinkers like Anaximander, gazing at the primordial seas, mused that life might have first emerged from water, beginning in simpler forms before evolving into more complex creatures. Empedocles, with a touch of poetic grandeur, even suggested that imperfect combinations of body parts perished, while successful ones survived, a surprisingly early, if rudimentary, glimpse of a natural selection-like process, though framed in a world of mythical elements. But for the most part, the prevailing view solidified around the ideas of philosophers like Aristotle. He meticulously observed the natural world, categorizing and classifying, and proposed what became known as the scala naturae, or the great chain of being. This wasn't an evolutionary ladder, but rather a fixed hierarchy, stretching from the simplest organisms to the most complex, culminating in humans, then angels, and ultimately, God. Every creature had its designated place, a perfect link in an unbroken chain. This grand design, while providing a framework for understanding order, also implicitly reinforced the idea of species fixity. If everything was perfectly placed, why would it ever need to change? Centuries later, as the thirst for knowledge grew, figures like Carl Linnaeus in the 18th century embarked on the monumental task of classifying all known life. He gave us the elegant system of binomial nomenclature, those two-part Latin names like Homo sapiens or Panthera leo, which we still use today. Linnaeus, too, believed in the fixity of species, seeing his work as uncovering the divine order of creation. Yet in the very act of meticulously grouping organisms based on shared characteristics, he inadvertently highlighted the astonishing patterns of similarity and difference among living things, patterns that would later become crucial clues for evolutionary thinkers. He saw the threads, even if he didn't imagine them weaving a new garment. But then, the ground beneath these fixed ideas began to gently, almost imperceptibly, shift. Geologists, peering into the very bones of the earth, started to uncover startling truths. James Hutton and Charles Lyell, among others, championed the concept of uniformitarianism. Imagine trying to understand a vast, ancient river by only looking at a single raindrop. Uniformitarianism suggested that the very same slow, incremental processes we see shaping the earth today, erosion by water, uplift of mountains, have been at work for unfathomably long stretches of time, shaping our planet not in sudden, violent bursts, but gradually, patiently, over millions of years. This idea of deep time was revolutionary. It provided the vast, sweeping canvas necessary for life itself to change slowly over eons, rather than being fixed in a mere blink of creation. Simultaneously, peculiar clues began emerging from deep within the earth itself. Fossils. These stony imprints, like ancient letters from a forgotten past, showed organisms that looked utterly unlike anything alive today. Georges Cuvier, a brilliant French anatomist, was a master at deciphering these cryptic messages. He demonstrated conclusively that some species had simply vanished, becoming extinct. While Cuvier himself was a proponent of catastrophism, believing that global catastrophes wiped out life, which was then replaced by new creations, his undeniable evidence of extinction was a powerful crack in the wall of species fixity. It proved that life on Earth was not eternally stable. It changed, it ceased, it was dynamic. The museum exhibit, it turned out, had entirely new wings that had vanished and others that were yet to be built. Against this backdrop of a changing Earth and disappearing species, new ideas about life's own mutability began to blossom. The Comte de Buffon, a contemporary of Linnaeus, boldly suggested that species might change over time, adapting to new environments. He even toyed with the idea of common ancestry, hinting that diverse forms might have descended from a smaller number of original types. And closer to home, for one particular future naturalist, was the pioneering work of his own grandfather, Erasmus Darwin. In his work, Zoonomia, Erasmus proposed that all warm-blooded animals might have arisen from a single living filament, gradually transforming and perfecting themselves over countless generations. He envisioned life as a single, flowing river, branching into the myriad forms we see today. But perhaps the most influential pre-Darwinian theory came from Jean-Baptiste Lamarck. Imagine a craftsman meticulously observing how an apprentice improves their skill with practice. Lamarck proposed a mechanism for evolution known as the inheritance of acquired characteristics. He believed that organisms developed traits during their lifetime in response to their environment and then passed these acquired traits onto their offspring. Think of a giraffe. stretching its neck higher and higher to reach leaves. Lamarck would have said that giraffes' offspring would be born with slightly longer necks, or a blacksmith, through years of labor, developing strong muscles. His children, Lamarck posited, would inherit a predisposition to greater strength. While we now know that such acquired traits are not passed genetically, your hard-won piano skills won't be innate in your child, alas, Lamarck's contribution was immense. He was among the first to propose a comprehensive, testable mechanism for evolution, seeing adaptation as a dynamic process and emphasizing the deep connection between an organism and its environment. He gave us a narrative for change, even if some of the details proved incorrect. By the early 19th century, the seeds of evolutionary thought had been scattered widely. Deep time had been established. Extinction was a fact, and mechanisms for change, however flawed, were being proposed. There was also a growing understanding of population dynamics, notably from Thomas Malthus, who observed that populations tend to grow exponentially, while resources do not. This created an inevitable struggle for existence, a competition for survival. The stage was thus carefully, quietly set. The grand ancient puzzle of life's diversity had been laid out, with many pieces tentatively placed. What was needed now was a unifying vision, a powerful, simple mechanism that could draw all these threads together, explaining not just how life changed, but why it did so, and with such breathtaking complexity and beauty. And so, as the moonlight filters softly through the window, let us gently drift towards that pivotal moment when the quiet observations of two naturalists sailing to distant lands would bring forth an idea that would forever transform our understanding of life itself. Charles Darwin and Alfred Russel Wallace independently arrived at a remarkable insight, one that helps us understand how the delicate tapestry of living things has been woven over countless ages through a process we now call natural selection. Imagine, if you will, a vast ancient forest stretching endlessly under the watchful stars. Within this forest live many creatures, and if you observe them closely, you'll notice something wonderful. No two are exactly alike. Picture a family of deer grazing softly in a moonlit clearing. One fawn might have slightly longer legs, another a coat of fur a shade darker, a third a keener sense of smell. These individual differences, these subtle variations, are the very first brushstrokes on nature's canvas. They are utterly fundamental. They are the raw material upon which all further change depends. Without this natural kaleidoscope of traits within a population, the story of evolution, as we understand it, could not even begin to be told. Now, these tiny variations aren't random quirks that disappear with the individual. Most of them, the ones that truly matter for the grand unfolding of life, are inherited. This means that parents tend to pass on their characteristics to their offspring. The fawn with slightly longer legs might have inherited that trait from its swift-footed mother, just as the darker-coated one might bear a resemblance to its father. This inheritance is like a quiet whisper through generations, ensuring that these small differences persist and can accumulate over time. Think of it as a blueprint, not always perfect, but passed on with remarkable consistency. But life, even in our peaceful forest, is not always easy. Every year, trees drop thousands of seeds, and animals give birth to many young. There are more hopeful beginnings than there are available spaces or resources. Not all the seeds will sprout, Not all the young deer will survive to adulthood. This is a profound, yet often overlooked truth. Life produces an abundance of potential, far more than the environment can sustain. This inherent overproduction leads to what we might gently call a struggle for existence. It's not necessarily a violent struggle, though it can be, but rather a constant, quiet competition for food, for safe shelter, for mates, and for avoiding the shadows of predators. The forest holds only so much food, only so many safe dens, and danger lurks for the unwary. And here, my friends, is where the gentle hand of natural selection makes its presence known. Out of all those varying individuals, some, by pure chance, will possess traits that happen to give them a slight advantage in this ongoing struggle. Perhaps the fawn with the slightly longer legs is a little swifter, better able to outrun a wolf. Perhaps the deer with the darker fur is better camouflaged against the shadows of the trees at night, making it harder for a predator to spot. Or maybe the one with the keener sense of smell can find food more efficiently or detect danger sooner. These small advantages, these subtle gifts of variation, mean that these individuals are a little more likely to survive. They are a little more likely to thrive, to reach maturity, and crucially, to reproduce and pass on their advantageous traits to their own offspring. Imagine the environment as a very subtle sieve, gently filtering the population. The traits that are better suited to the current conditions, the ones that help an organism navigate its world more successfully, tend to pass through the sieve more readily. Those that are less advantageous for that particular time and place are less likely to be passed on in the same abundance. This is the heart of differential survival and reproduction. Not everyone survives and reproduces equally. It is a slow, methodical process, not a sudden, dramatic event. And over countless generations, as the gentle current of natural selection continues to flow, these advantageous traits become more common in the population. The swift-footed deer thrive, and their swift-footed offspring become more prevalent. The dark-furred deer are less often seen by predators, and their genes for darker fur spread through the herd. This accumulation of favorable traits year after year, century after century, leads to adaptation. The species, as a whole, becomes exquisitely attuned to its environment, like a perfectly carved wooden flute humming in harmony with the wind. The deer population, for instance, slowly becomes better suited to the challenges and opportunities of its forest home, swifter, perhaps, or more effectively camouflaged, or better at discerning subtle scents. It is vital to remember that this process isn't guided by a conscious will, nor does nature strive for perfection. There is no grand architect drawing up plans. Natural selection simply acts upon the variations that already exist, favoring those that work best in the present conditions. It's a passive sorting, a subtle sculpting by the pressures of the environment, shaping life's diversity, not with a sudden hammer blow, but with the gentle, persistent touch of a sculptor's hand, removing what doesn't fit, refining what does. It is a story of countless small steps taken over immense spans of time, leading to the breathtaking diversity and intricate adaptations we see all around us. And so this quiet, persistent force of natural selection acts as the master sculptor of life, ever so subtly shaping the creatures of our world, allowing them to perfectly fit their environments. But how do these variations, these unique blueprints that natural selection acts upon, actually come into being? Listen to the soft rise and fall of your breath, a rhythm older than memory itself, older than mountains, older than the very oceans. They remind us that the world is a place of constant, gentle motion, of endless, subtle transformation. And deep within every living thing, from the smallest microbe dancing in a dewdrop to the tallest redwood reaching for the stars, there lies an equally ancient and elegant dance of change, a quiet symphony of evolution playing out over countless generations. We've touched upon the grand tapestry of life and how it evolves, how species adapt and transform over eons. But now, let us draw our attention closer to the very threads that make up this magnificent tapestry, to the silent language that whispers the instructions for life itself. This is where the story of evolution truly begins its most intimate and intricate chapter, within the genetic code. Imagine, if you will, that every living being is a magnificent ancient book, not a book printed on paper, but one woven from starlight and time, filled with the most detailed instructions imaginable. This book is called DNA. It's a remarkable molecule, spiraling like a delicate ladder, tucked away in the very heart of nearly every cell in your body and in every cell of every creature on Earth. DNA is the master blueprint, the comprehensive instruction manual that tells a tiny seed how to grow into a towering oak, a caterpillar how to transform into a butterfly, and even a single fertilized cell how to become you. Within this grand DNA book, there are countless individual stories, specific paragraphs, or even just single sentences that carry particular meanings. These are what we call genes. Each gene is a specific sequence along the DNA ladder, a unique set of instructions that usually codes for a particular protein or helps regulate other genes. Think of them as the individual recipes within a cookbook, each guiding the creation of a particular component, whether it's the color of a bird's feathers, the shape of a fish's fin, or the way your own eyes perceive the gentle glow of moonlight. Now, here's where the story grows even more intriguing. For many of these genes, there isn't just one single version of the story. Just as a classic tale might have many different interpretations or slightly varied tellings depending on who is narrating, so too do genes have variations. These different versions of a gene are called alleles. For instance, the gene that determines eye color in humans might have an allele for blue eyes, another for brown eyes, and another still for green eyes. Each of these alleles offers a slightly different instruction, leading to a different outcome in the observable traits of an organism. They are the subtle differences in the hue of the thread, or the specific flourish of a letter, that make each page of life's book unique. This existence of different alleles, these subtle variations in the genetic instructions, is utterly fundamental to evolution. Without variation, without these different options in the genetic library, there would be nothing for the forces of change to work upon. Imagine a world where every single creature was genetically identical, a perfect clone of every other. In such a world, if a new challenge arose, perhaps a new disease or a sudden shift in climate, every individual would either survive or perish together. There would be no opportunity for some to be slightly better suited than others, no raw material for nature to select from. So, where does this crucial variation come from? It's a gentle magic woven by two primary processes. The first, and arguably the most profound source of all new genetic information, is mutation. Picture a scribe copying an ancient text and occasionally, very rarely, making a tiny, random mistake. Perhaps a letter is accidentally changed, or a word is skipped, or an extra word is inadvertently added. Most often these typos have no effect, or they might even be detrimental. But sometimes, just sometimes, a mutation can introduce a new allele, a new version of a gene that offers a tiny, subtle advantage in a changed environment. These are like brand new stories appearing in the genetic library, entirely novel sequences of instructions that have never existed before. They are the ultimate source of all genetic novelty, the unexpected brushstrokes on life's canvas. Mutations are random events, not occurring because an organism needs them, but simply arising from the subtle imperfections in the copying process of DNA. The second grand source of genetic variation comes from the beautiful dance of sexual reproduction, specifically through a process known as genetic recombination. If mutations are about creating new genetic material, recombination is about shuffling and rearranging the existing material in endlessly novel ways. When organisms reproduce sexually, the genetic material from both parents is gently mixed and combined to create a unique offspring. It's like taking two different editions of the same ancient book, carefully taking pages from each and weaving them together to create a completely new volume, one that has never existed before and will never be precisely replicated again. This shuffling ensures that no two individuals, save for identical twins, are ever exactly alike, even within the same family. Each offspring is a unique combination, a fresh arrangement of ancestral genes, ensuring a vast mosaic of possibilities within any population. As these unique genetic blueprints are passed down through generations, they don't exist in isolation. They are part of a larger, collective heritage. For any given population of a species, all the deer in a forest, all the fish in a particular lake, or all the humans in a city, we can speak of its gene pool. The gene pool is like the complete collection of all the different genes and all their various alleles present within that entire population. It's the grand communal library of genetic potential that the population possesses. Within this gene pool, we can even measure the frequency of certain alleles, how often a specific version of a gene appears compared to its alternatives. These are called allele frequencies. Now, imagine this gene pool, this vast library of genetic possibilities. It's not static. It's a dynamic entity, constantly being influenced by forces that gently yet relentlessly shift the proportions of these different alleles from one generation to the next. These are the very mechanisms of evolution. One of the most powerful and intuitive of these forces is natural selection. Picture our ancient forest and imagine a population of colorful birds. Let's say, due to a mutation, some birds are born with a slightly duller feather color, making them harder for predators to spot. While the brighter birds are easily seen and caught, the duller birds survive more often to reproduce, passing on their duller feather alleles to their offspring. Over many generations, the allele for duller feathers, which provides a survival advantage, becomes more common in the gene pool, while the allele for bright feathers becomes less so. Natural selection isn't a conscious choice. It's simply the outcome of some individuals being slightly better suited to their environment, surviving and reproducing more successfully, and thus contributing more of their favorable alleles to the next generation. It's like a gentle but persistent editor, subtly highlighting the most fitting stories and quietly fading out those that no longer resonate as strongly with the current environment. But natural selection isn't the only force at play. Sometimes change happens purely by chance, especially in smaller populations. This is called genetic drift. Imagine a small pond where there are only 10 rare blue beetles and 10 rare red beetles. A clumsy boot happens to step in the pond, accidentally crushing 7 of the blue beetles. Even though the blue beetles were perfectly fine before, purely by random chance, their alleles have drastically decreased in frequency in that tiny population. The red beetles, by sheer luck, were untouched. Genetic drift is like a random shuffling of the cards, where the frequency of certain alleles can change not because they are better or worse, but simply due to chance events, particularly powerful in small populations. Think of it as a playful breeze scattering pages from our library, not caring which stories it lifts, but simply moving them around, altering their presence in that particular collection. Then there's gene flow, the movement of alleles between populations. Imagine 2 different populations of those colorful birds, separated by a mountain range. If a few adventurous birds from one population fly over the mountains and join the other, they bring their unique alleles with them, introducing new genetic variations into the recipient population's gene pool or altering the frequencies of existing ones. This is like different libraries exchanging books, enriching each other's collections with new tales and perspectives, connecting the scattered stories of life. These gentle, unceasing processes, mutation introducing novelty, recombination reshuffling the deck, natural selection favoring advantageous traits, genetic drift creating random shifts, and gene flow mixing populations are the engines of evolution. They work together, often simultaneously, to continuously shape and reshape the genetic makeup of populations across vast spans of time. Each tiny change, each subtle shift in allele frequency is a brushstroke on the vast canvas of life, slowly transforming one species into another, adapting them to new challenges, and leading to the incredible biodiversity we see and cherish today. It's a quiet, persistent hum, this genetic basis of evolution, a testament to life's adaptability and its ceaseless journey of change. These individual changes, these whispered instructions passed down through the ages, accumulate and interact, creating the breathtaking diversity of forms and functions that populate our world. As we drift deeper into the quietude of the night, we've explored the microscopic wonders that underpin all of life's grand transformations. Next, perhaps we can begin to consider how these tiny molecular shifts can, over geological timescales, give rise to entirely new species, and the patterns we observe when we look at the family tree of life itself. But for now, let the silent symphony of genes and alleles lull you into a peaceful slumber. Individual creatures carry their unique genetic codes, but they exist within vast, interconnected families, entire populations stretching across generations. Within these living communities, genes flow like currents in an ocean, their frequencies rising and falling in a mesmerizing dance of subtle shifts and grand transformations. Plun. Think of a population, perhaps a forest of ancient oaks, a shimmering school of fish, or even a bustling city of humans, as a vast, living tapestry. Each thread in this tapestry represents an individual's genetic makeup, a unique pattern of DNA. But beneath this surface, a deeper pattern exists. We call it the gene pool. It's like an immense shared library, holding all the genetic information, all the different versions of genes known as alleles that exist within that population. Some alleles might make an oak grow taller. Others might give a fish a slightly different fin shape or influence eye color in humans. Now, the essence of evolution, the very heart of how life changes, lies in the subtle shifts of how frequently these different alleles appear in our gene pool from one generation to the next. This is what we call allele frequencies. If an allele for green leaves becomes more common over time in our oak forest, that population is evolving. It's a quiet, persistent hum of change, often imperceptible from day to day, but profound over centuries. For a moment, let's imagine a perfectly still pond, undisturbed by any ripple or breeze. In population genetics, we have a similar concept, a theoretical state of perfect stillness called Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. It describes a population where allele and genotype frequencies remain absolutely constant from one generation to the next. For this perfect equilibrium to exist, 5 very strict conditions must be met. Firstly, there can be no mutation. No new alleles can ever arise, and existing ones cannot change. It's like our library never adding a new book or even a new sentence. Secondly, there can be no gene flow. No individuals can leave the population, emigration, or join it, immigration. Our pond must be completely isolated, with no rivers flowing in or out, no birds carrying seeds from distant lands. Thirdly, there must be random mating. Every individual must have an equal chance of mating with any other individual in the population. There are no preferences, no choices based on appearance or strength, just pure chance. Fourthly, the population must be infinitely large. This condition is crucial to avoid the whims of chance affecting allele frequencies, a concept we'll explore shortly. And finally, there can be no natural selection. Every individual must have an equal chance of surviving and reproducing, regardless of their genetic traits. There are no advantages or disadvantages in the game of life. Can you imagine a real population that could possibly meet all these conditions? It's exceedingly rare, if not impossible, in the vibrant, ever-changing tapestry of life. And this is precisely why Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium is so incredibly valuable to scientists. It acts as our null hypothesis, our perfect, unchanging baseline. When we observe that a population is not in Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium, which is almost always the case, it tells us that one or more of these 5 conditions are being violated. It signals that the currents of evolution are indeed at work, gently or sometimes powerfully, reshaping the gene pool. So, let's explore these powerful, yet often subtle, forces that nudge our populations away from perfect stillness and into the dynamic dance of change. These are the engines of evolution. First, there is mutation. Think of it as a tiny, unexpected spark, a spontaneous change in the DNA sequence. Most mutations are harmless, some are detrimental, but occasionally, a mutation introduces a brand new allele, a novel genetic instruction, into the gene pool. It's the ultimate source of all genetic variation, like a new musical note appearing in a symphony, offering potential for entirely new melodies. While individual mutations are rare events, over vast stretches of time and across immense populations, they provide the raw material upon which all other evolutionary forces act. Next, we encounter genetic drift. This is evolution by pure chance, particularly potent in smaller populations. Imagine a small island with a tiny population of colorful birds. A sudden storm might sweep away a disproportionate number of birds carrying a specific feather color allele, not because that color was a disadvantage, but simply because of unfortunate circumstance. Or a small group of birds might accidentally colonize a new island, taking with them only a limited subset of the original population's alleles. This is known as the founder effect. Genetic drift is like stirring a handful of marbles of different colors in a jar. In a small handful, the proportions can change quite dramatically, purely by random selection, whereas in a huge jar, such random shifts are less noticeable. It's a random waltz, sometimes leading to alleles becoming fixed. Everyone has it, or lost, no one has it, in a population, without any influence of their helpfulness. Then there is gene flow. Picture two neighboring meadows, each with its own population of wild flowers. When pollen is carried by the wind or by bees from one meadow to the other, or when seeds drift across the boundary, genetic information is exchanged. This is gene flow, the movement of alleles between populations through migration and interbreeding. It's like gentle rivers connecting two separate lakes, allowing the waters to mingle. Gene flow tends to make populations more similar genetically, preventing them from diverging too rapidly. It can introduce new alleles into a population or change the frequency of existing ones, acting as a homogenizing force, blurring the genetic lines between groups. And finally, perhaps the most renowned and often misunderstood force, natural selection. This is not a random process, nor is it a conscious choice by organisms. Instead, it's a profound consequence of three simple facts. Variation exists within a population. Some of this variation is heritable, passed down from parent to offspring, and organisms produce more offspring than can possibly survive. In this gentle struggle for existence, individuals with traits that are better suited or adaptive to their environment are more likely to survive, reproduce, and pass those advantageous alleles to the next generation. Over time, these advantageous alleles become more common in the gene pool. Natural selection is like a subtle sculptor, gently refining the characteristics of a population, making it better fitted to its surroundings. Natural selection can work in several beautiful ways. Directional selection pushes a trait in a particular direction, like a gentle breeze consistently nudging a cloud towards the west. For instance, if taller trees get more sunlight in a dense forest, selection might favor alleles for increased height. stabilizing selection. On the other hand, favors the intermediate forms of a trait, weeding out the extremes. Think of human birth weight. Babies who are neither too small nor too large tend to have the highest survival rates. It's like our sculptor smoothing out the rough edges, keeping the form close to the ideal average. Lastly, disruptive selection favors individuals at both extremes of a phenotypic range over intermediate phenotypes. Imagine a landscape with both very light and very dark soil patches. Birds that blend perfectly with either extreme might survive better than those with a medium coloration. This sculptor encourages diversity at the edges, favoring distinct specialized forms. All these forces, mutation, genetic drift, gene flow, and natural selection, are not isolated phenomena. They intertwine and interact in complex ways, constantly shaping and reshaping the genetic makeup of populations. They are the hidden currents beneath the surface of life, endlessly stirring the gene pool, ensuring that our tapestry of life is never static, always weaving new patterns, always telling new stories. This intricate dance of alleles, these subtle shifts within the gene pool, accumulate like grains of sand becoming dunes. Slowly, imperceptibly, populations transform, adapting to their environments, developing new traits. And sometimes, this gentle divergence reaches a threshold, a moment when one population becomes two, never to reunite. As your thoughts begin to drift like dandelion seeds on a gentle breeze, let us journey deeper into the grand tapestry of life. We've spoken of the slow unfolding dance of evolution, how creatures adapt and change over generations. But how, you might wonder, do these subtle shifts lead to something truly new? How does one species become two, then three, and so on, painting our world with such incredible biological diversity? This wondrous process, my dear listener, is called speciation, the birth of new species. At its heart, speciation is about populations becoming so different that they can no longer successfully interbreed and produce fertile offspring. Imagine two distinct melodies that once flowed from the same instrument. Over time, they diverge, their notes, rhythms, and harmonies shifting until they become entirely separate compositions, unable to blend back into a single tune. That inability to share their genetic song, to merge their blueprints for life, is what defines a new species. Let's begin our exploration with perhaps the most intuitive way new species can arise: allopatric speciation. Picture, if you will, a vast ancient forest, home to a single harmonious population of little forest mice. They scamper and play, finding mates and raising families throughout the woods. Now imagine a slow, inexorable change begins to unfold. Perhaps a mighty river, after centuries of gentle meandering, begins to carve a deeper, wider canyon through the very heart of the forest. Or a new mountain range, pushed up by the slumbering giants beneath the earth's crust, slowly, painstakingly rises, creating an impassable barrier. Or maybe a small, adventurous group of these mice accidentally floats on a log across a vast ocean to a new, uninhabited island. In each of these scenarios, the original unified population of mice is now physically separated. They are no longer able to meet, to mingle, or to mate with their kin on the other side of the river, mountain, or sea. The flow of genes which once connected them all is severed. This is the essence of allopatric speciation, speciation through geographical isolation. We call the splitting of an existing continuous population by a new barrier vicariance, like the river dividing the forest. And when a small group ventures out to a new isolated land, like those mice on the floating log colonizing an island, that's dispersal. Once separated, these two isolated groups of mice face slightly different environmental challenges. On one side of the river, perhaps the climate becomes a little drier, favoring mice with thicker fur that can conserve water better. On the other side, a new predator might emerge, leading to mice with quicker reflexes or a more camouflaged coat. Over countless generations, natural selection begins to favor different traits in each isolated population. Mutations, those tiny, random whispers of change in their genetic code, accumulate independently. Genetic drift, the element of chance, also plays a role, especially in smaller populations, where certain traits might become more common simply by luck, not necessarily because they offer an advantage. Zone. The mice on one side might develop a unique scent that appeals only to their local mates, while the mice on the other side develop a different courtship dance. Their calls might change pitch, their breeding seasons might shift. Slowly, imperceptibly, at first, their genetic blueprints diverge. If, after eons, the river dries up, or a pass opens in the mountains, and these two groups of mice were to meet again, they might no longer recognize each other as potential mates. They might not be able to produce healthy, fertile offspring, perhaps due to differences in their reproductive organs or because their eggs and sperm are no longer compatible. They would have become two entirely distinct species, born from a separation that began long, long ago. But what if there's no river, no mountain, no ocean? Can new species still arise when populations are living in the same place? The answer is a resounding yes, through a fascinating mechanism known as sympatric speciation. This is like different dreams unfolding within the very same shared mind, leading to different realities, even without a physical barrier. One powerful pathway for sympatric speciation, especially prevalent in the silent green world of plants, is polyploidy. Imagine a single plant in a meadow. Its cells usually have a specific number of chromosomes, the bundles of genetic information. But sometimes during cell division, an error occurs, and an offspring plant suddenly has double or even triple or quadruple the usual set of chromosomes. It's like suddenly having an entire extra set of instruction manuals for building itself. This new polyploid plant is often instantly reproductively isolated from its parent species. It can typically only mate successfully with other polyploid individuals, or perhaps self-pollinate. It's a sudden, profound genetic shift that can create a new species in a single generation, a rare but remarkable leap in the evolutionary journey. Another way sympatric speciation can occur is through habitat differentiation, or resource partitioning. Imagine a group of fruit flies living on a single tree. Over time, some flies might start to prefer laying their eggs and feeding on fruit that ripens earlier in the season, while others develop a preference for fruit that ripens later. Or perhaps Some specialize in fruit growing on the sunny side of the tree and others on the shady side. Even though they live on the same tree, they are effectively using different ecological niches. They might also begin to mate preferentially with flies that share their timing or food preference. Over many generations, these preferences can lead to genetic differences, as genes that help them exploit their preferred resource are favored, and eventually, they may become reproductively isolated, even in close proximity. Mons sexual selection can also be a potent driver of sympatric speciation. Think of a shimmering school of fish in a clear lake. Suppose the females of this species develop very specific preferences for the coloration of the males. Some females might strongly prefer males with brilliant blue fins, while others are drawn to males with vibrant red fins. If these preferences are strong and consistent, the blue-preferring females will mostly mate with blue-finned males, and the red-preferring females with red-finned males. Over time, two distinct groups emerge within the same lake, each breeding almost exclusively within itself. Their genetic makeup begins to diverge, driven not by physical barriers, but by the beautiful, intricate dances of courtship and mate choice, eventually leading to two new species that swim side by side but no longer intermingle their genes. Then there's parapatric speciation, a situation that lies somewhere between allopatric and sympatric. Imagine a continuous stretch of land, perhaps a vast prairie that gradually changes from lush and damp at one end to dry and arid at the other. A species of wildflower might grow across this entire gradient. The flowers at the damp end adapt to the moisture, perhaps developing broader leaves, while those at the dry end adapt to drought, with narrower, waxy leaves. In the middle, there's a hybrid zone where the two adapted forms still meet and can interbreed, but perhaps their offspring aren't as well suited to either extreme environment. Gene flow is reduced but not entirely stopped. Over time, the differences between the extremes become so pronounced that even where they meet, successful interbreeding diminishes and new species are formed across this subtle, shifting landscape. Finally, let's consider peripatric speciation, often seen as a special case of allopatric speciation, but with a unique twist. Imagine a vast continent, home to a large, flourishing population of a particular beetle. Now, picture a tiny, adventurous band of these beetles, perhaps just a few individuals, venturing out and colonizing a small, isolated oasis at the very edge of the continent, far from their ancestral home. Because this new population is so small, chance events, known as genetic drift, have a much more powerful effect. A rare genetic mutation might become common in this small, isolated group simply by luck, not necessarily because it's advantageous. This is known as the wow founder effect. Coupled with new selection pressures from their unique oasis environment, this small, isolated founder population can diverge very rapidly from the large ancestral population. It's like a distant cousin who left home and, over generations, took on a distinct identity, shaped by both destiny and the whims of their new, smaller world. These mechanisms, allopatric, sympatric, parapatric, and peripatric, are the unseen forces that sculpt the tree of life, branches constantly splitting and diverging in the deep currents of time. They remind us that evolution is not just about change, but about the creation of entirely new forms, each a unique expression of life's boundless creativity. Tomorrow night, we might explore how these new species continue to interact within their ecosystems, or perhaps we'll drift into the fascinating story of how different species are classified to better understand this incredible biodiversity. But for now, let these thoughts gently settle into the quiet corners of your mind. Let your mind's eye expand, now, beyond individual creatures and their immediate surroundings, to witness continents drifting like slow, silent ships, and mountains rising and falling like ancient, slumbering giants. This is the realm of macroevolutionary patterns, the sweeping sagas that unfold over millions and millions of years, shaping not just new species, but entirely new forms of life, whole ecosystems, and the very tapestry of biodiversity we see today. Sometimes, this grand story pauses, finding a moment of serene stillness. We call this phenomenon stasis. It's like a beloved lullaby that remains unchanged through generations, its melody perfect and enduring. Think of the ancient coelacanth, a fish that swims in the deep, dark ocean. Its form remarkably similar to its ancestors from hundreds of millions of years ago, a creature often referred to as a living fossil. Or the horseshoe crab, its armored shell and delicate legs have navigated the ocean floor for some 450 million years, almost unchanged, a testament to a successful design that simply found no need to hurry. In these instances, evolution seems to slow its pace to an almost imperceptible crawl, content with a form that perfectly suits its enduring environment, a quiet whisper in the vast evolutionary chorus. Yet, this stillness is not eternal. Often, these long periods of quiet are dramatically interrupted by bursts of rapid change, a concept known as punctuated equilibrium. Picture a vast, calm desert landscape stretching endlessly under a silent sky. For eons, nothing seems to shift. Then, almost in a blink, an earthquake might reshape the dunes, or a sudden torrential rain might carve new canyons. Similarly, scientists like Stephen Jay Gould and Niles Eldredge observed that new species often appear quite suddenly in the fossil record, remaining largely unchanged for millions of years afterward, rather than slowly transforming over vast spans. It's as if nature, having slumbered in a perfect form for ages, suddenly finds itself at a crossroads, needing to adapt quickly, evolving a new branch in the family tree in a geological heartbeat, then settling back into another long period of stability. These periods of rapid diversification are often linked to moments when a species colonizes a new environment or when significant ecological opportunities arise. And when those opportunities do arise, the results can be truly breathtaking. This brings us to adaptive radiation, one of nature's most spectacular displays of creativity. Imagine a single, humble seed carried by the wind to a pristine, untouched island. Suddenly, there's ample sunlight, rich soil, and no competition. That single seed could give rise to a multitude of new plant forms, each adapting to a different micro-environment on the island. This is exactly what happened when early mammals, after the immense cosmic reset of the dinosaur extinction event, found the world suddenly open to them. From small, shrew-like creatures, they radiated out, evolving into whales that swam the seas, bats that soared the skies, and countless land dwellers from tiny rodents to mighty elephants. Another beautiful example is the Galapagos finches, descended from a single ancestral species, each evolving a unique beak shape perfectly suited to cracking different seeds or catching insects, filling every available niche on their isolated islands. It's like a grand orchestra where a single melody can be adapted and played by every instrument, each finding its unique voice and role in the harmony. However, the stage for these grand radiations is often cleared by profound, sometimes devastating events. Mass extinctions are the cosmic resets of life, periods when a vast number of species vanish from the Earth in a relatively short geological time. Imagine the ancient forests and oceans teeming with life, then a sudden catastrophic shift, perhaps a massive volcanic eruption darkening the skies for centuries, or a colossal asteroid impact sending a shockwave around the planet. The Permian-Triassic extinction, for example, known as the Great Dying, wiped out over 90% of all marine species and 70% of land vertebrate species, clearing the slate for new forms of life to emerge. The more famous Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction, which ended the reign of the dinosaurs, paved the way for the adaptive radiation of mammals. These aren't just endings, they are also violent beginnings, like a forest fire that devastates old growth but enriches the soil for a whole new generation of plants to sprout and thrive, completely reshaping the evolutionary landscape. Yet, despite these vast differences and cataclysmic events, life often finds similar solutions to similar challenges. This is the wonder of convergent evolution. Picture a problem, like needing to move quickly and gracefully through water. Different lineages, separated by vast spans of time and ancestry, have independently arrived at remarkably similar solutions. The sleek, torpedo-like body of a shark, a fish, is mirrored in the body of a dolphin, a mammal. Or consider the ability to fly. Insects, birds, and bats, three entirely distinct groups, each evolved wings, though their internal structures are quite different. It's as if nature has a limited set of best answers to recurring ecological questions, like different engineers arriving at a similar elegant design for a bridge, even if they started with different materials and blueprints. It's a testament to the power of natural selection, sculpting diverse forms into shapes that simply work best. And sometimes, species don't just find similar solutions, they become intricately intertwined in their evolutionary journeys, a dance we call coevolution. Think of a delicate orchid and the specific moth that pollinates it. Over millennia, the orchid's flower might evolve a deeper nectar tube, perfectly matching the length of the moth's proboscis, while the moth's proboscis in turn becomes longer to reach the nectar, ensuring it's the only one capable of pollinating that flower. Or consider the never-ending arms race between a predator and its prey. The gazelle becomes faster to escape, and the cheetah becomes faster to catch it. Each species acts as a selective pressure on the other, shaping their evolution in a continuous, reciprocal embrace. Like two dancers who know each other's movements so perfectly, they anticipate every turn and dip. Underlying many of these grand patterns are often subtle shifts in the master control genes, like the Hox genes we spoke of earlier. Small changes in how these genes are expressed, Whether a segment grows a limb or a fin, whether a structure develops longer or shorter, can have profound impacts on the body plan of an organism, leading to rapid, large-scale evolutionary leaps that contribute to new body forms and new ways of life. It's like a conductor making a tiny adjustment to the tempo or volume, changing the entire feel of a grand symphony. These macroevolutionary patterns reveal that evolution is not a single steady march, but a complex, pulsating symphony of stasis and sudden change, of destruction and renewal, of independent innovation and intricate interdependence. They are the grand stories written in the rocks and in the living forms around us, stories that remind us of the deep, unending creativity of life itself. As these grand patterns fade gently into the background, we might wonder about the very fabric from which these changes are woven, the underlying genetic material that carries the instructions for life. And so, we will gently turn our thoughts to the intricate world of genetic drift. Dear listener, as we continue our gentle journey through the marvels of evolution, let us draw closer to something truly intimate. We've explored how life adapts to its environment, how variations arise, and how the fittest often find a way to thrive. But what happens when the environment for one species is another living creature? What happens when lives become so intricately woven together that they begin to shape each other's very future? Imagine, if you will, a grand, ancient ballroom bathed in the soft glow of moonlight. In this ballroom, no single dancer performs alone. Instead, there's a constant, elegant, reciprocal movement between partners. This, my dear friends, is the heart of coevolution, a magnificent slow-motion ballet where two or more species engage in such a profound long-term interaction that they begin to reciprocally influence each other's evolution. Each step one species takes on its evolutionary path subtly, or sometimes dramatically, alters the path of the other. It's a biological conversation, whispered across eons, where the very survival and success of one often depends on the other. Let's observe some of these ancient dances. Picture a vast, sun-drenched savanna where a sturdy acacia tree stands tall. Its branches, however, are not just home to birds, they also host tiny, fierce ants. This isn't just a casual meeting. It's an ancient, deeply evolved partnership, a prime example of mutualism, where both species benefit. The acacia tree, over countless generations, has developed remarkable adaptations specifically for its tiny defenders. Its thorns, usually a deterrent to large herbivores, are in this case hollowed out, offering perfect, ready-made homes for the ants. It also produces special nectar, not just in its flowers, but on its leaves and stems, a sweet offering, a dedicated food source for its protectors. And most fascinatingly, it grows tiny protein-rich nodules at the tips of its leaves called Beltian bodies, like little gourmet meals exclusively for its ant tenants. In return, these acacia ants are not merely passive residents. They are diligent, aggressive guardians. If a grazing animal, like a giraffe, attempts to nibble on the acacia's leaves, the ants swarm out, delivering painful bites and stings, chasing the herbivore away. They even clear away competing vines and fungi from the tree's trunk, acting as a devoted gardening service. The tree evolves to provide better housing and food. The ants evolve to be fiercer protectors and more specialized tenants. It's a living contract, an ancient bargain where each partner holds up their end, constantly adapting to the subtle shifts in the other. If one changes, the other must adapt, or the delicate balance is lost. This kind of reciprocal shaping is everywhere you look in nature. Consider the exquisite beauty of a flower, perhaps a vibrant orchid, and the particular insect or bird that pollinates it. For millions of years, flowers have been evolving dazzling colors, intoxicating scents, and uniquely shaped petals, all as advertisements, irresistible invitations to their specific pollinators. They offer sweet nectar, a rich reward for their service. And in turn, the pollinators have evolved specialized tools, a hummingbird's long, slender beak perfectly shaped to reach nectar deep within a tubular flower, a bee's fuzzy body designed to collect and carry pollen, a moth's delicate coiled proboscis unfurling like a tiny straw to sip from a night-blooming blossom. Charles Darwin himself was captivated by the Angraecum sesquipedale orchid, with its incredibly long nectar spur. He famously predicted that a moth with an equally long proboscis must exist to pollinate it, a prediction later confirmed decades after his death. It's a lock and key system, a perfect fit forged by countless generations of co-evolutionary whispers. But not all co-evolutionary dances are ones of mutual benefit. Sometimes, the interaction is a relentless, high-stakes game of survival, an evolutionary arms race. Imagine a tranquil forest floor where a small, unassuming, rough-skinned newt slowly ambles. This newt, despite its gentle appearance, carries a potent secret. Its skin is laced with tetrodotoxin, a powerful neurotoxin, making it deadly to most predators. However, in the same forest lives the common garter snake. Over generations, these snakes have developed a remarkable resistance to the newt's poison. They have evolved specific genetic mutations that alter their sodium channels, making them much less susceptible to the toxin's paralytic effects. And what does the newt do in response? It evolves to produce even more potent toxins, pushing the snake to evolve even greater resistance. This is a classic arms race. Each adaptation in one species selects for a counter-adaptation in the other, leading to an ever-escalating battle of wits and chemistry. Neither can truly win and stop evolving, for to do so would be to surrender to the other. They are forever bound in this ancient, deadly dance, each pushing the other to new extremes. We also see the intricate threads of co-evolution in the fascinating phenomenon of mimicry. Think of the vibrant orange and black patterns of the monarch butterfly, a beauty that hides a bitter, toxic secret. It's poisonous to birds if eaten. Over time, birds learn to avoid these distinctive patterns. Now, enter the viceroy butterfly, which is perfectly edible and harmless. Yet, it has evolved to strikingly resemble the monarch, borrowing its warning colors. This is called Batesian mimicry, where a palatable species benefits by mimicking an unpalatable one. The mimic gains protection from predators who have learned to avoid the toxic model. It's a clever evolutionary trick, a form of natural camouflage based on a shared warning signal. And in other cases, like Müllerian mimicry, several unpalatable or toxic species evolve to resemble each other, consolidating the warning signal, making it even easier for predators to learn to avoid them all. Imagine multiple dancers, all wearing the same distinctive warning costume, making their message even clearer to those who might wish them harm. These endless interactions, the gentle partnerships, the fierce competitions, the clever deceptions, are the engine of adaptation. They sculpt the beaks of birds, the toxins in newts, the patterns on butterflies' wings, and the very chemistry of a flower's scent. Every adaptation we observe is not just a response to the physical environment, but often a direct consequence of a long, unfolding conversation with another species. Life, it seems, is rarely lived in isolation. It is a vast, interconnected tapestry, where every thread pulls on every other, creating patterns of breathtaking complexity and enduring beauty. As the moonlight outside continues its silent journey, painting soft shadows across the landscape, we can rest assured that this intricate dance of coevolution continues, ceaseless and profound, shaping the very fabric of life as we know it. And with that gentle thought, we prepare to drift a little deeper into the wonders of the natural world as we next explore the mysteries of tonight. As you settle deeper into the quiet comfort, let's turn our thoughts to a particularly enchanting chapter in the story of life, one that whispers of ancient blueprints and the subtle art of transformation. Imagine, if you will, a vast cosmic workshop humming softly with the quiet industry of creation. In this workshop, countless forms of life are sculpted, each unique, yet all seem to draw from a surprisingly similar set of tools and instructions. This is the realm of evolutionary developmental biology, or Evo-Devo, as it's affectionately known, a field that asks a profound question. How does the incredible diversity we see around us, from the delicate wing of a butterfly to the towering trunk of an elephant, unfold from such similar beginnings, often using the very same genes? It's like discovering that all the world's exquisite dishes, from a simple loaf of bread to an elaborate souffle, were prepared from the same fundamental pantry of ingredients. The magic, it turns out, lies not just in what ingredients are available, but in how they are used, the order, the quantity, the timing, the temperature. In the living world, these ingredients are genes, and the recipes are the intricate developmental pathways that guide an organism from a single cell into a complex, breathing being. At the heart of this ancient genetic toolkit lie what we call master control genes. Think of them as the principal architects or the orchestral conductors of development. Perhaps the most famous of these are the Hox genes. Picture a long, elegant string of pearls, each pearl representing a distinct segment or region of an animal's body, from head to tail. The Hox genes are like the silent instructions that dictate which pearl goes where, ensuring the head forms at one end, the tail at the other, and all the segments in between are correctly arrayed. What's truly astonishing is how these Hox genes are arranged on the chromosome, often in the very same order as the body parts they control. It's a remarkable, deeply conserved pattern, an ancient melody played across nearly all complex animals, from tiny worms to magnificent whales. And even more breathtaking is the fact that these Hox genes are profoundly similar across vastly different species. The Hox genes that specify the head region in a fruit fly bear a striking resemblance to those that do the same job in a human. It's as if evolution, having stumbled upon a brilliant set of instructions for building a basic body plan hundreds of millions of years ago, decided, why reinvent the wheel? Instead, it cleverly repurposed and fine-tuned these existing tools. A tiny adjustment in the timing or location where a Hox gene is switched on or off can lead to dramatic changes in form. For instance, the difference in the number of legs between a six-legged insect and a many-legged crustacean often comes down to the precise regulatory influence of a single Hox gene called ultrabithorax, or UBX. In insects, UBX actively suppresses leg development in the abdomen, while in crustaceans it doesn't, allowing legs to sprout along more segments. A subtle change in the conductor's cue, and the orchestra plays a different tune. But Evo-Devo teaches us that it's not just about the master switches, but also about the dimmer switches and volume knobs, the regulatory regions of the genome. These are segments of DNA that don't code for proteins themselves, but instead control when, where, and how much a gene is expressed. Imagine having the same set of paints and brushes as a master artist. You might have the potential, but without knowing when to apply blue, where to add yellow, and how much to blend, your canvas will look very different from theirs. Evolution often works its magic not by inventing entirely new genes, but by subtly altering these regulatory switches. Small tweaks in these regions can lead to profound differences in morphology, behavior, and physiology, often without changing the actual protein sequence of the gene itself. This explains how closely related species can look so different, even with nearly identical genes. Consider the wondrous example of eyes. The diversity of eyes in the animal kingdom is staggering, from the compound eyes of insects to the camera-like eyes of vertebrates and cephalopods. Yet beneath this incredible variation lies a deep homology, a shared ancestral origin for a crucial master eye builder gene called PAX6. This gene acts like a universal eye-on switch. If you take the PAX6 gene from a mouse and insert it into a fruit fly larva, the fly can develop an eye. Not a mouse eye, but a perfectly functional fruit fly eye in an unusual location, like on its leg. This is a testament to the ancient conserved power of this gene, orchestrating the complex cascade of events needed for vision, regardless of the specific structural details it ultimately helps construct. It's as if PAX6 is an ancient, universally understood command. Build an eye here, and the local cellular toolkit responds with whatever type of eye it's equipped to assemble. Another captivating story unfolds in the development of limbs. How did fins evolve into legs, allowing our distant ancestors to explore land? Evo-Devo points to crucial signaling molecules like the appropriately named sonic hedgehog gene, named by scientists with a sense of humor after the video game character. This gene plays a pivotal role in patterning limbs, forming digits, and many other embryonic structures. Imagine a sculptor's careful hand gently molding clay. Sonic hedgehog acts like a gradient, its concentration telling cells precisely where they are and what they should become along the limb axis. Subtle changes in when, where, and how much. Sonic hedgehog as expressed can dramatically alter limb structure, from the number of digits to their overall shape and proportion. It's a beautiful dance of chemical signals, guiding the intricate ballet of cells as they form bones, muscles, and tendons. What these examples reveal is a recurring theme in evolution. It is a master tinkerer, a resourceful bricoleur, constantly repurposing and modifying existing tools rather than inventing entirely new ones from scratch. The genetic toolkit for building bodies is incredibly ancient, robust, and surprisingly flexible. Life's diversity isn't always about novel inventions, but about clever variations on fundamental themes, subtle shifts in regulatory timing, and ingenious reorchestrations of an ancestral symphony. It speaks to a deep interconnectedness of all living things, bound by shared genetic heritage and the enduring power of developmental plasticity. As we drift deeper into the night, carrying these fascinating insights, we begin to appreciate that evolution's narrative is not just about the grand sweep of time and the survival of the fittest, but also about the exquisite details of how life's forms are sculpted, cell by cell, gene by gene. And it makes us wonder, doesn't it, what other ancient tools and hidden instructions are yet to be fully understood, shaping the life we see, and perhaps the life that is yet to come. Among all these evolutionary stories, one thread leads directly to you, resting peacefully now. Our own journey, human evolution, is not one of separation, but of connection, a subtle ripple in the vast ocean of time that eventually grew into a mighty wave. Imagine the ancient African savannas, bathed in the warmth of a setting sun, some 6 to 7 million years ago. Here, amidst the rustling grasses and the watchful gaze of other creatures, a quiet divergence began. From a common ancestor we shared with chimpanzees, our closest living relatives, a new path branched. It wasn't a sudden leap, but a slow, deliberate unfolding, a series of gentle transformations that, over countless generations, shaped us into who we are. Perhaps the most pivotal of these early steps was a subtle shift in posture, bipedalism. Picture a small primate, perhaps, Australopithecus afarensis, like the famous Lucy, tentatively standing tall, moving on 2 legs instead of 4. This wasn't just a change in gait, it was a revolution. Freeing our hands was like unlocking a new dimension of possibility. Suddenly, stones could be carried, tools could be crafted, food could be gathered more efficiently, and distant horizons could be scanned for opportunity or danger. It was the first act of a grand, unfolding drama whispered across the winds of time. With hands now liberated, our ancestors began to sculpt the world around them. Simple stone tools like those found in the old Owan tradition were among our earliest inventions. These weren't merely extensions of our limbs, they were extensions of our minds, a testament to growing cognitive abilities. The act of planning, shaping, and using a tool required foresight and ingenuity, nurturing the very neural pathways that would lead to even greater complexity. And as our hands grew clever, so too did our minds. Over millions of years, the human brain embarked on an extraordinary expansion, especially in the prefrontal cortex, the seat of complex thought, planning, and self-awareness. Imagine a grand library, steadily adding more wings, more shelves, more volumes of knowledge and understanding with each passing epoch. From the early Homo habilis, the handyman, to Homo erectus, who mastered fire and journeyed out of Africa, and later to the contemplative Neanderthals, and eventually to us, Homo sapiens. Our brains became increasingly sophisticated. This remarkable growth wasn't just about size. It was about the intricate wiring, the capacity for abstract thought, symbolic language, and the ability to weave complex narratives about our world and ourselves. Language, this incredible symphony of sounds and meaning, emerged as a truly defining characteristic. It allowed us to share knowledge, plan collaboratively, and build cultures of unprecedented richness. With language, stories could be told, experiences could be passed down, and complex ideas could blossom, painting vibrant mental landscapes for generations to come. Armed with ingenuity, culture, and an insatiable curiosity, Homo sapiens embarked on one of the greatest migrations in history. From our ancestral home in Africa, like seeds carried on the wind, we spread across continents, adapting to a breathtaking array of environments. Through Siberia's icy grip, across ancient land bridges, and eventually to the farthest corners of the earth, our species demonstrated an unparalleled capacity for resilience and innovation, carrying the genetic echoes of our African origins in every cell. For most of our existence, we lived as hunter-gatherers, moving with the seasons, intimately connected to the rhythms of nature. Our footprint on the earth was light, transient, a part of the grand ecological dance. But then, a new chapter began, roughly 10,000 years ago, a revolution as profound as bipedalism itself, the agricultural revolution. It was a subtle shift, a whisper of understanding that certain seeds once planted could yield abundant harvests. We began to domesticate plants and animals, taming the wild, bringing it into our embrace. This was a monumental pact, an agreement with the land. This shift from nomad to farmer led to settled villages, then towns, then cities. It allowed for food surpluses, which in turn supported larger populations and specialized labor. It gave birth to civilization, to writing, to grand architecture, and complex societies. But with this newfound power to shape our immediate environment came the first hints of a broader impact. Forests were cleared for fields, irrigation systems altered natural water flows, and the sheer number of humans began to exert a noticeable pressure on local ecosystems. Our footprint, once light, was starting to deepen. Fast forward to just a few centuries ago, and another wave of transformation swept across the globe, the Industrial Revolution. Powered by the stored energy of ancient sunlight and fossil fuels, coal, then oil, then natural gas, human ingenuity was unleashed on an unprecedented scale. Steam engines roared, factories hummed, and goods were produced faster and more abundantly than ever before. It was a period of incredible progress, lifting millions out of poverty and vastly expanding our knowledge and technological capabilities. Yet, this accelerated progress came with an accelerated impact. The roaring furnaces and tireless machines began to exhale carbon into the atmosphere at a rate the Earth had not experienced in millions of years. Our growing cities consumed vast resources. Our expanding populations demanded ever more land and energy. we began to extract and transform the Earth's materials on a truly global scale, altering the very chemistry of our planet's air, oceans, and soils. Scientists now speak of the Anthropocene, a proposed new geological epoch named for us, Homo sapiens, because our actions have become the dominant force shaping Earth's future, leaving a distinct signature in the geological record. This is our impact, a testament to our power to change the world both intentionally and unintentionally. From a tiny spark of consciousness on the African savanna, we have journeyed to become a force of nature unto ourselves. Our evolution has equipped us with unique gifts: intelligence, empathy, the capacity for foresight, and an incredible ability to innovate. And now, we stand at a unique juncture in our story, holding immense power, and with it, immense responsibility. The choices we make today, guided by our understanding of this long, winding evolutionary path and our profound impact, will shape not only our own future, but the future of countless other species and the very health of our shared home. So, as you rest and reflect on this extraordinary journey, remember that we are all part of this continuous, evolving story. Our past is written in the stars and the dust, and our future is still unwritten, shaped by the gentle ripple of each choice we make. Understanding our evolutionary heritage doesn't just explain where we came from, it can also illuminate how we heal. In this realm, the whisper of ancient past informs the treatments of tomorrow, and the ongoing saga of life unfolds within our very own cells. Evolutionary medicine looks at health and disease not just as isolated events, but as threads woven into the grand tapestry of evolution itself. And evolutionary medicine doesn't just look back at fossils and ancient migrations. It's about recognizing that the grand narrative of life is still unfolding right now, within our own bodies, and within every tiny microbe that shares our world. It's like viewing health and disease through a special lens, one that reveals the deep currents of change shaping every living thing, urging us to understand the why behind our vulnerabilities and our strengths, not just the what. Imagine for a moment a sprawling city, our body, suddenly under siege by unwelcome inhabitants, a colony of bacteria. We deploy our defenders, the antibiotics, like a powerful, targeted weapon. Initially, these potent medicines sweep through, clearing the streets and restoring order. But among the vast population of invaders, there are always a few, perhaps one in a million, with a tiny inherent variation, a subtle genetic difference, that makes them just a little bit tougher, a little bit less susceptible to our weapon. They are the unwitting heroes of their own story, born with an advantage they didn't ask for. These few survivors, like clever escape artists, then multiply, passing on that very resistance to their offspring. What was once a rare trait quickly becomes common, because we created the intense selective pressure that favored them. It's a rapid, relentless natural selection, playing out in real time, right before our eyes, or more accurately, inside a petri dish or a hospital ward. This isn't about the bacteria trying to resist. It's about the impersonal hand of evolution favoring those already equipped to survive the new challenge. Understanding this rapid evolution helps us. It guides public health campaigns on prudent antibiotic use, helps us develop cocktail therapies, using multiple drugs to attack different bacterial vulnerabilities simultaneously, or cycle different drugs to outmaneuver the evolving enemy. It's a race, certainly, but knowing the rules of the race, the very mechanics of natural selection, gives us an edge, allowing us to design smarter strategies instead of merely reacting to an ever-adapting adversary. Now let's turn our gaze inward to the very cells that compose us. Our bodies are vast, intricate societies of billions of cells, all working in harmony, bound by complex rules and signals. But sometimes, within this peaceful republic, a single cell, through a series of genetic mutations, begins to rebel. It sheds its societal constraints, starts dividing uncontrollably, and ignores the signals to stop. This rogue cell isn't static. It continues to evolve. As it multiplies, further mutations can arise, some of which might give its descendants new advantages. The ability to evade the immune system, to grow their own blood supply, or to resist the very treatments we use to stop them. Think of it as microevolution playing out within you. A tumor isn't a monolithic entity, but a diverse population of cells, all competing, all evolving, adapting to their environment. Some might be sensitive to chemotherapy, while others, deep within the tumor, are already subtly different, poised to survive and proliferate when the sensitive ones are cleared away. This understanding shifts our perspective. Instead of trying to eradicate every single cancer cell at once, which often selects for the most resistant cells, evolutionary medicine prompts us to consider adaptive therapy. This approach uses lower pulsed doses of drugs, aiming to manage the cancer as a chronic condition, keeping the sensitive cells alive to outcompete and suppress the resistant ones, rather than inadvertently driving the tumor to evolve aggressive resistance. It's like a skilled gardener tending a diverse ecosystem, rather than a bulldozer trying to flatten a resilient forest. Let's broaden our perspective now to the echoes of our deep past. Our bodies, in their fundamental design, are still remarkably similar to those of our ancestors who lived in environments vastly different from our own. They lived lives of physical exertion, intermittent food scarcity, and constant exposure to a diverse array of microbes and parasites. Our genes, those ancient blueprints, were honed over millions of years to thrive in that world. Consider, for instance, the thrifty gene hypothesis. It suggests that genes predisposing us to efficient fat storage and a slower metabolism were incredibly beneficial when food was unpredictable and famines were common. They helped our ancestors survive harsh winters and lean seasons. But in our modern world of abundant, calorie-dense food and sedentary lifestyles, these very same thrifty genes can become a liability, contributing to widespread conditions like obesity and type 2 diabetes. Our ancient hardware, perfectly suited for one environment, is running on new, sometimes incompatible, software. Similarly, think about autoimmune diseases or allergies. Our immune systems evolved to be vigilant against pathogens, constantly challenged by parasites, bacteria, and viruses. The hygiene hypothesis suggests that in our overly sterile modern environments, without the usual training and distractions from common microbes, our immune systems can sometimes become misdirected or overactive, attacking harmless substances like pollen, allergies, or even our own tissues, autoimmunity. Our highly capable immune system, fine-tuned for a wilder world, can sometimes overreact in our pristine one. Evolutionary medicine encourages us to look at disease not just as a breakdown, but sometimes as an understandable, if unfortunate, consequence of a mismatch between our ancient biological heritage and our rapidly changing world. Even the way diseases spread and manifest, their virulence, is shaped by evolution. A pathogen's success isn't always about being deadly. Sometimes a milder pathogen that keeps its host alive and moving for longer can spread more effectively, like a clever parasite that keeps its host functioning just enough to travel. This delicate dance between host and pathogen, where both are constantly evolving, informs vaccine development. We track the rapid evolution of viruses like influenza, anticipating changes to design new vaccines each year. It's like predicting the movements of a particularly nimble, ever-changing dancer. As we drift further into the quiet of the night, we carry this understanding that evolution isn't just history. It's a living force, whispering through our cells, shaping our health, and offering profound insights into how we can better navigate the journey of life. This perspective transforms medicine from a simple repair job into a deep conversation with the very forces that shaped us. It empowers us to work with evolution rather than merely against it, understanding its rhythms and its relentless creativity. And if we can partner with evolution to heal, might we also collaborate with it to create? And so, as we gently drift through the vast ocean of evolutionary time, we've seen how life, in its boundless ingenuity, has sculpted itself over eons. It's a tale told by the wind and the waves, by the slow shifting of continents and the quiet whispers of DNA. But what if, just for a moment, we could lend a hand? What if we could, with a gentle touch and a curious mind, guide this profound process, not with the blind chance of nature, but with a specific purpose, a specific dream in mind? This brings us to a remarkable chapter in our story, a chapter where human ingenuity meets the ancient wisdom of evolution. Directed evolution. Imagine a world where we don't just observe the masterpieces of nature, but gently, thoughtfully, learn to compose new symphonies, design new tools, and solve some of the planet's most intricate puzzles. It's like taking the grand, sweeping brushstrokes of natural selection and, instead of letting the river carve its own course over millennia, we become careful gardeners, tending to specific pathways, helping a particular bloom flourish. At its heart, directed evolution is an elegant dance with biological processes, a laboratory-scale recreation of nature's greatest trick, innovation through variation and selection. Picture yourself in a vast library filled with countless books. In natural evolution, new books are randomly generated, some brilliant, some nonsensical, and only the ones that best help survival are published and passed down. Directed evolution is different. We, as mindful librarians, actively create new versions of a specific book, a protein perhaps, or an enzyme, introducing tiny, deliberate changes like altering a few words or sentences. These changes, known as mutations, are the fuel of evolution. They can be random, like scattering a handful of new letters across the pages, or they can be more targeted, focusing on specific passages we believe hold the key to a better story. Once we have a collection of these slightly altered books, these variant genes or proteins, the next crucial step is selection. Imagine you want a book that tells a story about breaking down a particular sugar, or perhaps one that glows brightly under certain light. We wouldn't wait for millennia for nature to stumble upon it. Instead, we create an environment where only the books that perform this desired task, even if imperfectly, are allowed to continue. We apply selective pressure. This might mean giving our altered proteins a specific challenge, like breaking down a tough compound or surviving in a harsh environment. Those that rise to the occasion, even slightly, are identified, isolated, and then used as the parents for the next generation of books. It's an iterative process, a gentle cycle of variation, selection, and amplification, repeated over and over, refining the desired trait with each passing generation. This powerful yet gentle approach truly blossomed into a field of its own thanks to the pioneering work of scientists like Dr. Frances Arnold. Her insights into how we could harness this biological power earned her a Nobel Prize, illuminating a path forward for countless researchers. She showed us how we could nudge enzymes, these tireless biological catalysts that speed up chemical reactions in our bodies and throughout nature, to perform tasks they never evolved to do, or to perform their natural tasks with unprecedented efficiency and specificity. It's like discovering that a simple garden spade, with a few modifications, can become a precision surgical tool. And the results? They are nothing short of transformative. Picture, if you will, the bustling factories of our modern world. Traditional chemical processes often require harsh conditions, extreme temperatures, or toxic solvents. But with directed evolution, we can design enzymes that act as exquisite, environmentally friendly catalysts. They can synthesize complex pharmaceuticals with fewer byproducts, turning intricate molecular puzzles into elegant solutions. They can transform agricultural waste into valuable biofuels, offering a greener future for our energy needs. Imagine enzymes capable of producing vital medicines like insulin more efficiently, or even creating novel antibiotics to combat drug-resistant infections, a quiet molecular shield against future threats. Perhaps one of the most vivid examples of this gentle power lies in tackling one of humanity's biggest challenges: plastic pollution. Scientists have used directed evolution to engineer enzymes that can eat plastic, breaking down stubborn polymers into their basic building blocks, ready to be recycled and reused. It's a tiny biological army working diligently, slowly but surely, to mend some of the damage we've inflicted upon our beautiful planet. These microscopic workers are a testament to how directed evolution isn't about overriding nature, but rather collaborating with it, learning from its profound wisdom to create a more harmonious existence. Looking ahead, the future of directed evolution shimmers with even greater promise. Imagine designer enzymes that can precisely deliver drugs only to cancerous cells, leaving healthy tissue untouched, like a tiny, intelligent package delivery system. Envision crops engineered to thrive in drought-stricken lands or to resist devastating pests, ensuring food security for a growing world. Think of new, sustainable materials created not through energy-intensive industrial processes, but through gentle biological synthesis, mimicking the strength of spider silk or the self-healing properties of biological tissues. It's a future where we move beyond simply copying nature's designs and begin to co-create with it, with respect and understanding. This isn't about imposing our will, but rather about whispering to the molecules, guiding them with gentle intent towards solutions that benefit all life. It's a profound shift from observation to inspired participation, opening up new horizons for medicine, industry, agriculture, and environmental stewardship. The possibilities unfurl before us like the petals of a waking flower, each one hinting at a new wonder. And with that hopeful vision, our journey through the story of evolution draws to a gentle close. My dear friend, as the world outside begins to hush its busy hum and the soft blanket of night settles over us, we arrive at the gentle close of our journey. We've drifted together through timescales so vast they feel like dreams themselves, tracing the quiet, persistent whisper of life's grand unfolding. Tonight, we've spoken of evolution, not as a thunderous march, but as a slow, patient, and infinitely gentle dance. Remember how we imagined those very first stirrings? A tiny spark, a humble beginning, perhaps no more than a simple bubble holding the promise of what was to come. From that quiet origin, a delicate thread began to weave, stretching through eons, through countless sunrises and moonlit nights. There was no rush, no urgency, just an endless, patient flow, guided by the softest nudges of existence. Each tiny alteration, each whisper of change, was like a single brushstroke on a canvas so immense we can only glimpse its beauty in our mind's eye. We saw how life, with remarkable grace, learned to adapt. Not through brute force or sudden leaps, but through gentle shifts, small adjustments, like a sleepy seedling slowly turning towards the light. Over oceans deep and mountains high, in steaming jungles and icy plains, organisms found their way, discovering how to breathe, how to feed, how to simply be, in harmony with their surroundings. Each leaf that unfurled, each scale that grew, each feather that took to the air was a testament to this quiet ingenuity, this tender responsiveness to the world's soft demands. It reminds us that life doesn't fight the current. It learns to swim with it, finding beauty and resilience in every ripple. And from this gentle unfolding, what wondrous diversity emerged. The great tree of life branching out in every conceivable direction, each twig, each blossom, each tiny bud, a unique story, a singular expression of the life force. From the smallest unseen microbe to the mightiest whale, from the oldest redwood to the newest butterfly, all are connected. All are interwoven threads in this magnificent living tapestry. Look closely, and you can see the familial echoes in the most unexpected places, the shared whispers of ancestry, linking us all in a profound, unbroken lineage. We are all kin, a vast, extended family stretching back through time to that very first, humble spark. There's a deep comfort in this understanding, isn't there? To know that we are not isolated, but rather a tiny, precious part of something so much larger, so much older, so infinitely patient. Evolution is not a destination, but a journey without end, a continuous, quiet becoming. Even now, in this very moment, As you lie still and peaceful, life continues its gentle, unseen dance. New connections are forming, tiny adaptations are stirring. The quiet hum of existence is ever present. This grand story, this beautiful, ever-changing narrative is our story too. It reminds us that life is not static, but a gentle river, always flowing, always transforming, always finding new paths. And in its endless flow, there is peace. There is no need for hurry, no need for fear, just the quiet wonder of being a part of something so vast, so ancient, and so utterly persistent. So, as your own quiet systems begin to slow and your breath deepens into the soft rhythm of sleep, carry this feeling with you. Carry the calm assurance of continuity, the gentle power of change, the profound interconnectedness of all living things. May your dreams be filled with the quiet hum of existence, the shimmering starlight of deep time, and the soft, reassuring whisper that life, in all its wondrous forms, continues its beautiful, peaceful journey. Sleep well, my dear friend. The journey continues, even in your dreams.